Monday Night Live.
Anything could happen next half hour. That was two very different show references, but I will always try to throw in a Captain Scarlet, Thunderbird, Stingray reference wherever I can. Anyway, hi.
Oh, my mate designed some of the new Thunderbirds.
We'll get into that in a second. Hi, I'm David, your host. Patrick is unfortunately not here, but here's Raj. Look at Raj being all happy. He got introduced this time first.
Hi.
And
Hi.
then
Hi.
Adam.
Hi.
What about Thunderbirds?
Ha! Oh, my mate, he does like 3D design and animation and stuff, and he had involvement in the Thunderbirds. We doing the models for the actual Thunderbirds.
Oh, is that for the 3D one for Amazon?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, Thingy's son was involved in it.
Thingy's son.
The original creator. I don't know why
Jerry,
I do this.
Jerry Anderson?
Yeah, you know what it's like when I go to name something.
Yeah,
you know I
it's worse than
immediately
me.
forget what it is.
Oh god, I used to love those fucking shows as a kid. Scarlet, Thunderbirds, Stingray. There are more of them. I don't really remember that off the top of my head, but I just love those things. But hey, there's 3 of us this week because they don't love us enough. Yeah, in reality, people are working, people have family commitments, other things, and I just like to bully Raj into doing things for me. It's funny. I think what was the about?
I'm just looking at us. You know, you and Raj, you went very brightly lit. You know, I am
Really?
in
I
the
look like
modern age.
Darkman.
I look like I'm in a period drama here. I look like it is cowboy times and everything is sepia tone.
You are a wee bit sepia.
I reckon that's the superior choice because I am sepia toned anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
I can never get the fucking white balance to work on my camera. Like, it's weird. Sometimes my beard goes green on some of these recordings. It's horrible.
No, mate, that happens in real life too.
I will headbutt you into the ground like a tent peg. Anyway.
Maybe you shouldn't be like headbutting moss or whatever it is you do in your spare time. You wouldn't have a green beard.
Yeah, Raj's point here.
Yeah.
You cheeky wee shit. Anyway, so stuff we're going to talk about. First thing that comes up is, it's quite unfortunate. The actor Dave Prowse has unfortunately passed away. He was 85. Most people know him. He was the actor who physically played Darth Vader. Or if you're a wee bit older, you may remember that he taught you how to cross the road without being hit by a car. He was the Green Cross Code Man. And honestly, if you do, just go watch some of those videos. They're freakishly wholesome. You know? Stop, Look, Listen, all that stuff. Him in that bloody stupid outfit. Really wholesome. Really lovely. Also, heart goes out to family. Hope everyone's well. That was really sad. Let's move on to something else. Other Star Wars stuff. They finally named Baby Yoda. And it's Grogu.
What? This is where I say slow news week, huh?
It really is, by the way. It is. But last episode of Mandalorian, you have first live action appearance of Ahsoka Tano, played by Rosie Dawson. You'll know her from pretty much any Marvel TV show or Sin City or many other films. Just big ass. But no, I want to concentrate on fucking Grogu. It's a terrible fucking name. Also, it's like Mandalorian, no, Grogu. I think it just looks something like a fucking Jack Russell. Also, Michael Biehn turned up. It's always fun to see Michael Biehn working.
You see, if I went to buy, went to the pound to get a puppy or a kitten, and there was like one hideously deformed, sort of retarded one,
Adam,
I might consider calling it Grogu. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I would hate it. I'm saying that I would love it, and I would love it dearly. But its name would be Grogu. It would be something like that.
Oh.
Why is that the name they picked?
I don't know.
It's like I vomited a couple of syllables up and got tired.
It's like okay. This is everyone loves season 1. The internet went crazy over this tiny little Baby Yoda. What do we call it?
What? No, I haven't watched it.
Oh yeah, even if you haven't watched it, you've probably seen pictures of fucking Baby Yoda. Or seen the toys of Baby Yoda in shops or whatever. It's like grow.
There's people with Baby Yoda tattoos already. I mean, like,
it's like, okay, now you just need to sign it Grogu. hell?
You got tattoos of a character after one season of the show.
Man, people have tattoos of fucking everything. I'm pretty sure someone owes me.
But it's just it's just one season of the show, and they already got tattoos.
Raj,
And now
Raj.
they're like, you have a character called Grogu.
Raj,
What do you
Let's
think
go
there's
to the
more
laser
of,
actually.
actually?
Someone
No,
lost a bet.
Raj.
Someone lost a bet to me and has my signature tattooed on their ass. So yes, someone has got their a tattoo for a TV show. There's worse tattoos out there, like
Dave,
my
that
signature.
is some monstrous dick energy right there. However, Raj, what do you think there's more of in the world? Firefly tattoos
Oh,
or Mandalorian tattoos?
Probably Firefly, I'm guessing.
I don't know because Star Wars.
It's just because
You mean
it's had
after
more
one
time.
season?
But it's had more time to percolate into the the psyche of people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not only that, but I mean, like, to be honest, those lines, I mean, they are properly like catchy, and
It's true. It's only one season of
way.
a show.
Mm. Though I think
Only one season of a show, though.
Is it wrong? This
I
is
mean-
horrible to say now, but I'm really happy the show got cancelled because I'm worried what Joss Whedon just would eventually shit out.
Yeah, well, he renamed all the characters Grogu. Season 2. That's what happened. And then everyone's like, "Oh, damn! I have to go and get my laser removal stuff on." Great.
Fucking crazy.
That's the thing. No, you get it. Fucking Grogu. That's what I'd be like when my retarded pet inevitably pisses on the floor because it's too retarded to know what outside is. And I'd be like, fucking Grogu, look at you go. You're a little retard, but I love you really. And then it would like, scuttle past me towards the door, and run into it, and just sort of.
Do you know, every time you describe your version of Grogu, I'm just remembering Brundlefly after like the last moments of the fly, just kind of crawling out of the fucking pod, trying to get a shotgun to his head. Christ, this is gonna be dark, isn't it?
But if I can get quite sort of hoity-toity for a second here.
Well, as the only English person here, you may.
Okay, sure.
Fucking imperialists.
So
that's a different thing.
So obviously, people aren't happy about the fact that the name is Grogu, and maybe saying that they could have come up with a better name. But are we like so far out there, and Star Wars is such a big property that you can't just have a cinematic universe where people just have bad names? That's just considered part of the lore. Do you have to sort of bring it in that it's the writer's fault that you can't separate the artist from the art? Like, people can just have bad names in the universe. Like, in this universe, people have bad names. Elon Musk named his kid XA3-12 or whatever.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. But Adam looks like he's having a fit. Adam, what are you trying to say?
Dude, you know what? You see when you take a step back, Baby Yoda. Now let's just look at the name Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really much odds between that and Grogu?
Really?
I would say it's slightly it's easier to say and just doesn't have Gru.
No, maybe these species just name each other like assholes. Maybe that is the lore. Fucking Raj could completely be onto something here. Maybe this is canon, that they just name each other like dickheads.
No, it's okay. My last point of this is Disney we're talking about. This is a property which they probably made millions of toys and licensed shit for this one character. They went through not one writer, probably 15, and then we're gonna sit kids down. What do you think of the name of Grogu for Baby Yoda? Ooh. So they probably went for focus groups, and they probably had 10 different names to begin with before they went down to Grogu.
And at least one writer said, "Why don't we call him Greg?" And he was beheaded.
He was beheaded, and
I like the name Greg.
It's like his name is Greg. Not many mythical sci-fi heroes are called Greg. Right.
And he went to shop and got a pasty.
Mate, okay, you've touched on two different things, right? Within our last couple of
Was
streams.
it a vegetarian one?
Oh God, I forgot. Oh my God, I forgot what time Piers Morgan was it? Piers Morgan, did he vomit from a vegetarian pasty or a sausage roll?
Sausage roll.
It was a vegan sausage roll.
Either way, he's a twat.
I have eaten a vegan sausage roll from Greg's. In fact, I have eaten several because I'm a vegetarian, and I think they taste quite good. However, I do not have the whole thing of being used to eating meat. So
Okay.
the experience is probably
no,
very
no, Raj, I've eaten both,
Mhm.
and I eat meat, and I gotta say, it's a perfectly acceptable sausage roll. It tastes nice.
good. Okay. Right.
Same, but it's just Greg's is a wee bit greasy. I remember watching this thing. It's like I despise him.
That's why you go.
I know. But
Oh, here you go.
I remember watching it,
Yeah.
eating it, and I just saw the bin. It's like, Christ, you're a grown man.
So actually, there's a good thing about Pierce Morgan.
Really?
No. The thing about Pierce Morgan is Jeremy Clarkson summed this up when he was making an argument for a statue of Pierce Morgan being in Trafalgar Square when there was the empty spot. Years ago, this was. Now, his argument was based entirely on the fact that if you needed something that could thrive on being covered in pigeon shit, why not Pierce Morgan? But he had another point. He's completely and utterly invincible, according to him, because he punched him and broke his hand. Now, Jeremy Clarkson's not a perfect human being by any stretch of the imagination. But this was one where he might have had a point. Because they're both, actually, they're kind of very
similar.
I mean, realistically, is there much odds?
Both kind of alpha male-esque, right?
No. Jeremy Clarkson is absolutely and utterly a pussy. And he makes that very clear around every corner. He's useless, he's fearful, and he's stupid. And he knows all these things.
He's just loud.
Exactly.
And he knows how to use his loudness.
Apparently, he learned to be funny so that the bullies in school would stop making him eat dog shit.
Oh, that's just.
I mean, that does sound pretty rough, right? I mean, if that's a trial by fire, and that can sort of condition you to be a certain way as you grow up. Like if you
those English
made to eat
those English private schools, fucking hell.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you didn't have all these weird, rapey traditions of bullying people in certain ways in the private schools, like I went to one here.
Did you?
I did really well in my 11 plus and went to one of the closest equivalents to them that would be available here, and it was just absolutely overrun by cunts of every kind.
Every cunt under the rainbow.
My God, the atmosphere and the logic, it was all so weird and toxic. And even now, a lot of them are still like part of their own in club where they're all like tied together because literally nobody else can bear them. I got kicked out.
I was waiting for it. Like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did he? Okay, there has to be a punchline here. Oh, you're kicked out. That makes perfect sense. Oh, Christ.
Yeah, Grogu. Yeah.
Went from Grogu to Piers Morgan to vegan sausage rolls to Adam being kicked out of private school. Oh.
Yeah. And then I went to like a more normal grammar school after that, but they kicked me out too.
I just went to integrated one word. Well, okay, I went to like the second or third integrated school in Northern Ireland, so hey. But I think there might have been.
You know what? With those schools, it was their loss.
I was kind of an asshole as a teenager. I'm not sure about that.
Someone who met him when he was a teenager. Yeah, but he was funny.
Anyway. Grogu. Grogu, see?
Fucking Grogu.
Why Grogu?
The only other stupidest thing that came up recently was the Uri Geller thing. This is over the last 20 years. If you don't know who Uri Geller is, I don't fucking blame you. He used to be a bigger celebrity a decade or two ago. He was a magician / hypnotist who was famous for bending spoons and forks and knives and shit, and then had his whole fucking gig ruined when some interviewer literally pulled out a tray of cutlery that was not prepared by him, and he couldn't do it. Destroyed his entire act in one go. Anyway, he sued Pokemon because one of their characters,
Kadabra,
thank you, used to have spoons that were bent. And So 1 second, let's see if I can find it here. 1 second. Load, you bastard. Where are we? There we go. So it's not that he's dropped the loss anymore. It's more he has allowed them to include the spoons again. And he wrote on Twitter.
So
and-
Kadabra is the evolution of Abra.
My God, it was. I used to know. I used to play Pokemon and shit back then, but I only did like the first 150 ones. I didn't keep going. So his
Wait. You mean Abra becomes
Yes.
Kadabra? Abra
Yes.
Kadabra?
yeah,
Yes.
Mind blown.
yeah. But he had this whole thing.
There's a Pokemon called Ekans.
Yep.
Ekans.
Huh?
You know what Ekans backwards is?
Is it potato?
Nope.
What's Ekans back?
It's fucking Snake.
And you know what?
Oh my God, is that a Metal Gear Solid reference?
No. Then there's the other.
Oh
one.
wait, no, it's because it's a snake.
Yeah.
Yes, and Ekans is a
And
snake.
then there's the other one,
And it evolves into
Arbok.
Arbok. And Arbok.
which is a cobra. It's like, oh yeah. But his whole thing is like, I'm not letting them go back to putting out these cards because I've just been inundated with so many letters and shit. It's like, man, are you about to lose your lawsuit and don't look like a dick?
Hey, wait. Yuri Geller, actually, you know what? No legitimate claim here, but you know who does? Every cunt that makes knockoff, I can't believe it's not butter, because you see Butterfree? That's a way better name for any kind of margarine than anybody else has come up with.
Okay. Christ, I was ready for that one.
You weren't ready for the butter
honestly,
industry?
all this random name shit, it reminds me of another Japanese thing. I remember Dragon Ball Z, one of the last big arcs. Their villains were called Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo.
I didn't watch that far when I watched it when I was like
Completely forgot about
around
that.
maybe 11 or so.
God, I completely forgot about that one. It's like, I am the evil wizard Bibbidi, and
Yeah,
this is my
I-
son or clone or something.
Boo was probably. Oh, Boo Saga was probably the last arc that I watched. When I was
I
young.
think that was the last arc. And then GT, which I never watched. And then I watched the new movies, which were fun. Patrick's not here. We went to see the the Super Broly movie in the cinema. It was fucking great crack. No one else watches movies.
Nope.
Damn it.
Lost me.
Actually, do you know what the
I
last?
mean, I don't know where I am most of the time, so it's not hard to lose me.
Okay, we're here for you. You've finally woken up after all these years. This is your wife, Raj. President is Donald Trump. The year is 2020. It's shite.
I knew there was a reason I could trust that face. I didn't know what it was, but I could feel our bond
Oh.
through the fog and mist of my own memory. I knew.
Raj. Coming to Hallmark this summer. Let's talk about some bastards.
We're gonna call our child Gorgu.
No, do not call your child fucking Grogu. No.
Do you know what? Actually, no. You know,
He has a
come to
child.
think
Do you
of
not
it, Grogu, right? Everyone's pissed off about it, but this is a perfectly acceptable name. Let's not forget, right? Labyrinth, for example, just as an example.
Okay.
You know, you got the whole setup and everything. Goblin King steals the baby. She goes into the labyrinth, and the first line we get is, "The name's Hoggle."
I forgot about fucking Hoggle.
Hoggle.
You know,
Nice.
I mean, can we really be mad about Grogu?
Kinda. But also, yeah, there's a bunch of fucking stupid names out there. Plenty. Also, I can't believe... I watch Labyrinth these days. It's really fucking weird. Not just for,
Labyrinth?
David Bowie.
Yeah, it's a bit rapey, like.
Oh, it's how old is she supposed to be, like 15? Maybe
What about
Jennifer
the cod
Connelly?
piece? Just the cod piece.
What codpiece? There isn't a codpiece. It's just his balls. And then his balls. And the hand thing.
No, I'm pretty sure they were small.
Watching a lot of films from those.
I mean, David Bowie doesn't remember
A lot of
making
films
that
from
movie.
that era does not.
Sorry, Raj.
Not
I
age
spoke
well.
over you there because of the delay. What were you trying to say?
I was just saying, a lot of films from that era does not age well.
Oh no, it's perfectly watchable.
Yeah. It's just...
Yeah, of course.
Vegetable.
and things about it.
Oh,
Yeah, there's hokey stuff in them. Like, I watched Nightmare on Elm Street as a child, and, obviously it scared the bejesus out of me. But you see, for years, I just had no idea Freddy Krueger was a pedo.
I
Like,
mean,
that was mind-blowing to me to come back and realize that he was a pedo, because I watched it as a kid, completely missed that bit, and was like, this is some sort of scary dream cunt that lives in a boiler room.
and it's like now you have a completely different reason to be afraid of him as a kid. That was a bad joke, and I apologize for it. Oh yeah, Robert Englund might be coming back to do another Nightmare on Elm Street movie. That's just a wee thing I heard about the other day. Oh, cool. He's also coming in for the next season of Stranger Things, so more Robert Englund. I love Robert Englund. He's lovely. I've had a mate meet him.
I have to be honest, I haven't actually caught up on the last season of Stranger Things.
It's good. I would say it's slightly better than the second season.
I did, however, finish Hell on Wheels.
I'm going to watch it. You've talked about it so much.
Dude,
I'm going to.
Now I have to say, for sure, right, if you appreciate that sort of history where there's like a lot of bullshit going on, it's nice that they tie all that in. It's not perfectly accurate or anything like that, but that is a show that delivers from start to finish with a definitive ending. You don't get blue balls, you get to the end, and it's literally called, the last episode is literally called Done.
Okay.
They don't fuck about, they don't mess you around, they deliver.
I mean, it could be worse. The first episode of Red Dwarf was called The End. No, that's just me.
That's funny.
Yeah, I need a new show to properly just sit and binge, because everything I'm watching
There's
currently,
5 seasons of that. The episodes are an hour long.
I will watch them, because all the stuff I'm currently got is either coming out weekly, which is Mandalorian and Star Trek, because I like Discovery. A lot of people don't. Jesus, I was very angry. Making eye contact when we did it. And everything else I was watching is finished already, like Lovecraft Country and everything. That was great. Anyone else watch that?
I'm trying Black Sails at the minute.
I tried Black Sails. I got a couple episodes into it, just never really got me.
Oh no, I've got like a couple of seasons in it, because obviously I have really like so much time where I'm waiting for things to happen at work at the minute. And Black Sails, I nearly gave up after a couple of episodes, but because I was busy, I kept it on, and I found myself I quite enjoy it, because a lot of it, again, there is like actual sort of references to history and stuff.
Even though it is a gritty prequel. Oh yeah, it's a gritty prequel to Treasure Island. The gritty prequel no one asked for. It's like, I really, I was like, yeah.
Really, it is kind of enjoyable to watch. It's got some fairly interesting stuff going on.
Are you watching anything currently?
I just started watching Queen's Gambit.
I've heard nothing but good things about that. It's got what's her face. That's
okay.
That's a great way to start something. It's
got Taylor-Joy.
Yeah.
Taylor-Joy. Yeah, it's quite good. I don't think people would be as glowing about it if it came out in a normal world. I feel like now, just based on current circumstances, and also because there's been a bit of a renaissance in terms of chess's popularity, so people are getting into that now. So I think that's contributed to the show being quite well regarded. It's good though. I like it. What is there?
Right there,
Raj, I've just realized that I could currently play chess against myself. I'm wondering if you're experiencing the same thing. On the stream, I am mirrored from myself.
I was just looking at that, right? I don't understand, okay? I am reversed from what I see here. Mm-hmm. David is reversed. No, we're not. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
No, actually, Raj, you're the only one that is the same on both of them for me.
What?
You're the only one that's correct on both.
What have you done?
Dave and I are swapped.
Doesn't make any sense.
Look.
Reality. Am I the wrong way? Am I the wrong way around? Is this the right way around? What's left? What's right? I don't even know anymore.
And the right way is the way you go.
Let's blame Discord.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, there's something Raj was talking about right before we started, because I brought up that a bunch of Cyberpunk physical copies got released out, and developers are like, "Oh, please don't spoil anything," because we've been working on this game for nearly a decade. And then Raj reminded me about Complete and Utter Bastards. Raj, would you like to talk about the fucking PS5?
Well, actually, just to say about Cyberpunk was that people have been getting early copies of it and they've been playing it, and there was like this whole snafu about someone on PS5 was like looking at their like settings for the game, and someone else owned the game and said, "Hey, those aren't the settings for the PS5 version. What are you talking about, you fool?" And there was like a big argument about it. But then it turned out he installed the PS4 version of the game on his PS5, and so it led to like a discrepancy in the sort of settings of the game, because apparently what people were thinking was that, oh, this game looks a lot worse than it should on PS5. Like, it should look a lot better. It turned out one of the sort of early copies, he installed the wrong version. That was quite funny. Anyway,
the bastards.
PS5, so then PS5 pre-orders, very difficult to get one at the moment. For people who've been trying to get one, impossible. But for some of the people who pre-ordered on Amazon, at least here in the UK, they had their PS5s replaced by things such as cat food and bags of rice in their packages.
Yeah, so
and so
I was working in the factories doing that one.
Yeah, I mean, at least I guess it must be. At least if it's good rice, then it's worth the money.
It's like you can't be like, okay, let me trade you a couple of they're really good bags of rice, man. Really good. You make a nice curry, maybe we stir fry, maybe some chili with it for your PS5.
Okay. No. What I want to know is, now these are really loud incidents. My guess is, if someone goes to the effort to weigh the rice out to actually weigh the same, this works. But they must have some basic checks and measures in here. Now, my logic on this is simple enough. If you go to a supermarket, you go to the self-service checkout and you put something other than the item you scanned on, then it knows it's the wrong weight, which is why you get people using like the banana item to try and buy like 5 kilograms of bananas, that it's actually a TV. But you got to imagine.
I've seen that.
Amazon has the same deal, give or take 10 grams or so, for packaging or whatever.
Yeah.
You got to think that they have one of them at the very least that slides over, and it's like, this is supposed to be this weight.
But it depends on where in the chain it's being replaced, right?
The
So it's
most
being
common
replaced
is returns. So the idea being, you buy it, you return it, saying that you say that it was a fake item.
I got nothing but cat food.
You keep the real item, and you return it. They don't bother their arse checking. It ends up back in stock because it's like a not working code. It's like nobody said it didn't work, so they just sling it straight back into stock without checking.
But I'm saying when these PS5s are being stolen and being replaced by food, where in the chain is that happening?
Oh, that's a good
Is that
point.
happening after it's out for delivery, or is it happening as the seller is preparing the order? So it's kind of like, obviously there's a lot of moving parts here, but it's trying to figure out where it's happening.
You've got a good point there, because the usual thing is you return an item and you're the bastard that swapped it out for the fake thing.
Mm-hmm.
But with the PS5s, they cannot be rolling. I suppose stock-wise, maybe they're rolling returns straight back into stock and hoping they'll roll the dice on that.
Thing is, when it comes to the PS5 fuckery, there's the guy who literally went to deliver PS5 for a kid, took it out of the Amazon box, left the Amazon box at the front door, and fucked off while on camera.
Yeah, pure scum.
Yeah, and but Amazon's only thing, but that was like, yes, the man has been fired. It's like, did you do anything for the kid whose PS5 got nicked for a week? Then there's the scalpers. People who bought like 10.
Think of Tiny Tim. Christmas is ruined. Tiny Tim's not going to have a PS5 for Christmas.
Yeah,
but Daddy, I want to play Demon Souls. Are we not going to play Demon Souls, Daddy? Please, Daddy, you died.
I have queries about Jeff Bezos and what he's up to. Well, we'll get to.
But I have to talk. I want to talk the scalpers really quickly.
No, I'm about this.
Okay.
Just about that guy. Just
Yeah.
about that guy. If they'd have said he's been fired and stabbed, or like he's been fired and lowered into the shark pit, I'd have been much more comfortable with Jeff. Like,
It's
if you're
like,
gonna be a fucking supervillain, at least punish the assholes in your
oh,
organization.
okay, maybe the tweet was incomplete. It's like, and the man has been fired out of a trebuchet into the sun. Would that be
See?
better?
Yes,
Yeah,
that
so-
would make me comfortable. That would make me feel like
I do wonder
Okay,
about-
so the
this
scalpers.
job.
Okay, I want to talk about the scalpers just for very, very briefly. Is there
No, can I just say one thing before the scalpers?
Okay.
Okay. No, I was just going to say, I wonder with Amazon whether it's better to sort of not give information to who's delivering about what's in the parcel, because I assume that they have a way of being able to see just by scanning it what's in it. Because if they know that okay, inside here's a PS5, they would steal it. Like I once ordered a pair of headphones which were quite expensive, and they got stolen before I was able to pick them up from a collection point.
Yeah.
Probably by someone who is delivering it there. So it probably stands to reason that if they don't know the contents of the package, they're less likely to steal it.
As far as I know, they don't know the contents of the package, and the reason I know this is because I buy coffee beans off Amazon. I also buy quite a lot of whiskey off Amazon, and
Not judging.
I had a package where I got ID'd, and I was like, I didn't order whiskey, and I'm like, I don't know what it is. Why are you asking me? And I was like, why are you IDing me for this package? You know, like, because whenever they want that, like, it doesn't matter if you're a pensioner or not. Some of the guys are very by the book and they want to see your ID, I think, more. So they make sure that they get the right person or that they get to mark it up as another resident over 18 took it. But,
I've never been asked for my ID before, though. That sounds like they would know that there's alcohol inside.
well, that's the thing. There
might be
wasn't
flagged.
alcohol in this one. There wasn't alcohol in it.
Oh.
It was coffee beans.
Oh.
I don't know why they
Sometimes,
ID'd
okay,
me.
this is,
Coffee
this is a
beans.
weird thing. Sometimes coffee and there's caffeine and shit. You need that. Some places like the ID people.
But this is the only time that's happened. I buy coffee beans regularly from them. I buy maybe about 1 kilogram every 3 weeks or
I
so.
actually do have one random Amazon delivery thing. So once again, wrote a book. It's it's being advertised behind me. Adam's currently helping me with version 2. Thank you, Adam. But he's being my editor for it. It's going well so far. We need to do a read, by the way. And I got some author copies because you can order them and yeah. And I got 5 author copies, but there were 7 books. I opened it up and there's my ones. And then I just had some random fuckers' books of poetry. And they were obviously, the printed Amazon self-published ones. It's like,
Are you sure those weren't packaging material?
they might have been. But it's like, I got someone else's books. I think I still have one of them. 1 second, do I? Did I keep it anywhere near me? No, I didn't. Shit, sorry.
If you wrote these poetry collections, let us know.
Hi. Okay, so the scalpers. I want to talk about scalpers really quick.
Wait.
No, I've been fucking interrupted twice for this. Let me speak about the fucking scalpers. Anyway, so scalpers. No, you do the relevant. Afterwards.
It's relevant!
Shush. Anyway, so every time anything. Don't be a dick. I let you speak about your thing. I let him speak about his thing. So
No, it was relevant to your story, is what I mean.
okay.
The only really bad experience I've had with Amazon delivery was the dude kicked in my Catflap, which doesn't work. It's closed. I no longer have a cat, but I found the Catflap through the utility room halfway across the kitchen. The package had been punted in, but the most amazing thing about this was, so they destroyed the fucking Catflap, knocked it straight into the kitchen, and it's the only time Amazon has also ever delivered me the wrong item.
Insult to injury.
Not what I ordered, not
Ow.
like it was mildly incorrect, like it was a very similar item. I mean, it was just completely wrong.
I wasn't ready for the cat flap, man. I don't.
But it was
I
fully
wasn't.
addressed to me and everything. But I phone Amazon customer support, and they basically go, "Look, can you find this?" I'm like, yeah, and I managed to find my particular cat flap. which was about worth. It couldn't have been worth more than a fiver. I found it for 50 quid, and they just legit bang. Bank account. It took a while. But they did that. They replaced the order and
Nice.
they gave me a huge discount on what I actually ordered.
I just want to believe it's like the customer service is like, oh, it's fucking Terry again. All right, how much is it? This guy's fucking. It's fucking Terry. What did Terry do this time? He kicked on some guy's Catflap.
No.
What?
You see, when I tried to describe this, the girl I got on the phone was actually like, "You what?" he kicked your cat? No, the cat flap.
Yeah. That would have been bad if you kicked your cat.
Your cat door. I understand now, but I don't understand what is the problem. And I'm like, but the cat flap itself is now in the kitchen. It is destroyed. There's a hole in my door now.
Okay.
And I can't blame her for being surprised because the level of destruction and aggression for no apparent reason.
I'm just writing this down here. Raj, last week you won with episode title of Pulling Out of Dunkirk. This week's episode is called Kicked in My Catflap.
That's good. I like it.
Anyway,
before David talks
I'm
about
gonna stab you
scalpers,
with a pen. Anyway, these fucking scalpers. So like every
coffee beans do you get? What brand?
So anyway, these fuckers. There's always
many.
I want to
We'll get back to that.
I want to kill you fuckers. Anyway, so anytime anything new comes out, there's always scalpers, and industry always tries to fix it so they can't do it. Like a Warhammer, you have to custom order your miniatures and shit now, so people can just buy in bulk. PS5, people buying in bulk, 10, 20, 100, whatever. And then when they go to sell them, people have been beating the shit out of them and just stealing their stuff. Scalpers, like...
I'm absolutely fine with that.
Yeah.
That is my take on this.
Yeah,
I need
it's
a couple of minutes here because something's going on downstairs. I don't know what. Someone's banging on my door. It could be Amazon. They might be about to bang my cat flap.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, go protect your cat.
Twist! What a twist in the story! Go see.
It's Terry's back. This
All right,
time.
go have a look.
Oh, I wasn't ready for the fucking cat flap.
I'm back.
I wasn't ready for the cat flap.
Oh no!
I wasn't.
No.
Christ! All this from Grogu.
Well, it's from Grogu. It's incredible. By the way, scalpers have been selling PS5s for as much as like £2,500.
Yeah, and it's like fucking wise up, you bastards. Like, what's the PS5 currently going for?
It's 500 for the
1 second.
It's about 500 for the
We have access to the
video
internet. I
edition.
can Google this.
The digital edition. I think is like £100 cheaper. So that's the one that doesn't have a disc drive.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen the two versions. So 449. And that's
Okay, 459.
Yeah. And they're still like it's ridiculous the amount of they're trying to call for it. It's like, oh yeah, we know people are going to have this because we've bought them all. It's like, don't be a dick. I know if you are selling one second hand, don't be that much of a dick. Maybe £500 eBay, but don't be like that, you prick.
No, it's the I don't know why. I mean, is it usual for retailers to limit the number of consoles that you can pre-order? Maybe.
I think they've done it now.
Okay.
But then again, people. Okay, so I used to work for a company. I'm not going to say the name of the company because but it was a company that is a mobile network within the UK. And occasionally you would get people going, okay, so the new iPhone, can I get 9 of them? It's like, what? Can I get 9? It's like, sir, why do you need 9 of these? Well, because I've already got 9 on the other card. And it's like, you're a fucking dick.
It's like unless you can prove that you are, let's say, I don't know, if you're a video game journalism outlet or
you're
something,
a family of 25.
maybe the case for you. I mean, even in that case, I feel like one's enough for you lot.
Hey. Well, I was about to say, are you an only child? And I've met your sister. She's very lovely.
Yeah.
Oh my
exactly.
God.
But I mean, maybe
Adam's getting killed by his Amazon delivery. Harry's back. You heard him talking shit out Catflap.
Yeah.
Also, I just find it so sinister that we can just see Adam's empty camera and the chair just sitting there.
Missed him already.
Ave Maria.
Oh.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, if maybe you can prove, like maybe you should have a house inspection to prove that
he's
you're
back.
a large. He's back!
Yay! So you didn't die. Your door's open.
Apologies, it wasn't Amazon, it was the neighbor.
What were they doing?
Oh, I was over there last night with the kids.
Oh yeah, you told me. This was the one you've accidentally gone. You're going on a double date with by accident.
I think he's going with his mates.
Oh, your door's open, by the way. Thank you. Oh, anyway, I just realized this is the perfect time to give a
I would have
bit.
thought David like an open door.
Anyway, so time for some, cross promotion shit. Tech Bros eventually coming back. Any topics so far, or are you and Egerton still trying to work out the when, the where to record?
We were due to do an episode on the social dilemma, and we were going to talk about that and kind of go sort of bit into a deep dive into it and talk a little bit about the topics that it raises and how valid they are in terms of worries that people have about social media right now and how probably a lot of them are pretty true. So we're going to do something on that. We're going to do something on like cryptocurrencies. I had like some ideas for some pretty cool stuff that I've been quite interested in, like internet blockouts. So basically, when a country just says, right, all of you people in our country, no internet. And I just find stuff like that crazy. And the fact that it happens in the year 2020 is pretty weird. So I wanted to like talk about that as well.
See, it's an interesting subject in a lot of ways. Like,
is it more interesting than your cat door?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
but it's kind of interesting. The same
sorry,
way, in the sense that so a lot of these countries, these totalitarian countries, go with like single point control. If it breaks, nobody would have internet either. There is an internet hole in the country, and if they put a cork in it, there's no more internet for you.
That is the most horrible thing I can think of right now. It's like 90% of the time now it's internet to save us from being bored. But let's leave that one for Raj's program.
Yeah, so I was
even though Adam's like, shit, I know stuff like that. That'll be great. Also, we're still doing streams on Twitch. We're also getting the highlights on our YouTube, which currently is going to be, I think, the second part of me and Adam's Resident Evil 2 playthroughs coming out, in which, Raj, if you've not watched it, the worst joke imaginable got our, like, someone in chat, it's like, oh my god, I'm sitting in an office meeting and I just laughed at your last joke, and it's fucking terrible. And have you played Resident Evil 2?
No.
Okay, so all it is getting a bomb from the archives. And the one shitty joke, Adam, would you like to say it? Is it yours?
Well, Dave, it was in the records room.
Yeah?
Does that make it a particularly memorable bomb?
That's it. Unmemorable. That's it. That is the worst fucking joke in the thing. And they gundred, laughed in an office meeting, and then had to talk to a fucking colleague about it.
That's really good. That's very clever.
The second part is coming out soon. I don't know the exact date. If Egerton was here, he could tell you everything because he's got all that on a fucking spreadsheet. Adam's seen the episode, so he knows what we're doing with that one. Eva Maria. Also, tomorrow.
I really enjoy Dave's edits.
Well, thank you. I'm getting better with them. I'm having more fun with them. Then tomorrow, if I don't die doing it, you will see the second episode of A Cinema Nasty, which is going to fucking kill me.
Is it out tomorrow? I'm so excited.
Oh, it's supposed to be out tomorrow. I haven't finished editing. I'm still editing it.
Work.
Oh.
No, I know, but oh my god, we ended up talking for like the actual amount of time we spoke about it
was nearly as long as the movie.
No, it was as long as the movie.
No, slightly longer as well. Fuck, it was. So I've been trying to cut it all down. There's 2 parts. There's going to be 1 part that was like recorded in 2 parts because we had to take a fucking break. And the movie is Maximum Overdrive, the Stephen King classic. And God, it's going to kill me editing this thing. The only thing I'll talk about in the Okay, the only thing I'll talk about here is Adam, Yo Mama. Oh my god, there is Gus from Breaking Bad when he's like 19, and his only line
Yo
in the movie is Yo Mama.
That's literally all he says
Yeah.
is "Yo, mama."
So catch up tomorrow.
Fucking bring.
Any tease for the next episode?
Yes.
film?
Okay. Hint. Hmm.
It's possible that you could find a hint. It's possible that you could find a hint to Maximum Overdrive if you looked for it.
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely a
You have
big.
to have looked for it last week.
There was a big clue last week, which we're not going to point out, but if anyone wants to go back and watch it, go, oh, that cheeky fucker. That'll be there.
It was painfully obvious in retrospect.
But,
Very obvious.
Yeah,
we drew attention to it, didn't we?
No, actually, he didn't. I didn't even realize he had done it until after we'd finished recording. It's like, oh, you cheeky fucker.
We talked about that.
Yeah,
after.
that's right. After, okay, yeah.
The only thing we'll talk about the next movie is that it's going to be so much easier because every scene for Maximum Overdrive is what? Whereas the next movie is going to be a bit more. This is fucking cool. This is
Yeah,
cool.
it's some real bright lights, big city type stuff.
Yeah, and yeah. Oh, it's just gonna.
That was a bad joke. I'm sorry,
It was, but
Dave. Just because it doesn't set your soul on fire.
fucking stop it. Oh Christ, you complete prick! I love you to bits, but that was. It's only. Do you know the only worst? Do you know the only bad bit is? The reason I'm annoyed is because the joke I was going to make. Anyway,
Oh, it's not.
It was kind of like you made your joke. Like, it's like you fucker. Anyway, so last thing we're going to talk about because Raj reminded me right before we started streaming, the Game Awards nominations are out. Look at Raj being all excited. Raj, do your excited dance.
Hey, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Excited.
So, I've got them up here. Let's run through this. So, Adam,
So for years,
Adam is playing Sonic.
There's been this.
I didn't even
been
need to
this
see that
game-
load up. I see Sega. So, Adam, do you think there's any Sonic games on this year for the awards? No, because that many good Sonic
Oh,
games.
damn it. Got the usual.
Did the thing break?
No, it's just like, hey, your controller, Jens, just forgets about controllers every time.
Okay. So, Game Awards.
Okay, just to give a preamble, Game Awards have been running for a number of years.
Mhm.
It's by Jeff Keighley. He's like the main host. He's been doing it for a number of years. It's been a show that's kind of like there's been problems in trying to get it taken seriously because it's been shoveled with a bunch of like really bad advertising.
And also, it's always up against the fucking BAFTAs, the game BAFTAs.
And the Game BAFTA is a little bit more serious, but I think also it's just in terms of the nominations as well. Like, there's a lot of.
Has the BAFTAs gone this year?
Yeah, I
Bad?
think so.
Was it? Oh, no.
Oh, right. BAFTAs. The BAFTAs have their own video game awards. They've had them for years. Like I remember Max Payne won one.
I had no idea.
The gaming BAFTAs this year was on April the 2nd, so it already sort of happened.
Okay,
but obviously that missed out quite a lot of games.
Yeah.
You
Whereas I always think the Game
that.
Awards you get a bit more, and also we occasionally get a good here's a reveal or a gameplay trailer or some demo or something. You usually get a wee bit of fun. So let's have a look here. So Game of the Year, which I believe is also unlike the BAFTAs, Game Awards, you can go right now to gameawards.com/nominees and you can vote who you think you should win each category. Whereas the BAFTAs is the BAFTAs. I think they've only got
exercise your right to vote.
Yeah. Hey, Raj, remember last week? Which you became the thing you hated most? A non-voter.
Exactly. I mean, you don't want to be like me and be the person who doesn't vote. That's bad.
Even though I think you won that round. Oh no, that's one Patrick won.
You don't want to be that.
That's one Patrick won. Okay, so Game of the Year. The 6 nominees are Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake with Cloud and the far off, The Ghost of Tsushima, The Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, which I've not played yet, but it looks really pretty. Animal Crossing New Horizons and The Last of Us Part 2. I just remembered all the beautiful. It's like this is a really bad time for everyone, lockdown and shit, and then the Doom and Animal Crossing fandoms just joined together in this weirdly beautiful thing that shouldn't have worked.
That was nice.
It really was. It was like the nice.
Seeing like it.
Seeing
Isabel and Doomslayer together was really, really wholesome.
Yeah. Okay. So out of those six, what's everyone played? I've only played 2 of them actually.
Well, it's a big secret, so nobody tell. But I have Animal Crossing for my daughter's Switch that she's not getting to Christmas, and I have Doom Eternal, but I haven't downloaded it yet because I only bought it this evening because I couldn't spooge 50 quid on a game.
I mean, spooging it all. Raj, have you played any of them? Well, you've played Animal Crossing, because I know you have. You wouldn't shut up about it, but if we're talking about it.
Animal Crossing is you see that that's an Animal Crossing Switch right over there.
I can just about see
it.
I can just see it. It's underneath underneath the heater. No, it's beside PlayStation, but it's still underneath the fan. Have you played anything else?
And I played Hades as well.
Okay.
A little bit of it though, not a whole lot of it.
It looks like a really really pretty game. I'm just fixing my glasses.
I mean, Supergiant Games have made some great games, and I know that Hades has been getting a lot of attention, but I encourage people to play their previous games. Bastion, Transistor, Pyre, all of them are great.
And they all
have amazing art. Well. Soundtracks are incredible. They're one of the best sort of indie developers, I think, at the moment. So
I've played Doom because I might be a bit of a fan. With my signed John Romero poster. Doom Eternal was fun. It was great crack. Good follow-up to the last game. I can't wait for more of it. I also played The Last of Us Part 2, which I know is Marmite for anyone who was a fan of the first game. Have
you watched that video about Last of Us 2's game design?
Oh god. No.
It's just called like Last of Us 2's game design is outdated or something like that.
I've heard of
really
that.
Good video.
The game itself, it's really pretty, even though it has some horrible subject matter. And weirdly enough, my favorite character in it, favorite 2 characters actually, but my favorite character in it is the one character most people hated and sent death threats to, because some fans are bastards. But yeah, Abby, who is a tank with a capital T, and Lev, who is now the actor who played Lev, is now in Star Trek, and they're in a door.
Sorry, but you got to remember that fans of things means that you quite often you get a lot of people like, oh no, this controller's a heap of shite sometimes. You get a lot of people that are like, right, no, I have liked this for a while, and I once spent money on it, therefore I have ownership of it. I have ownership over the idea behind it. And that leads to some really toxic bullshit.
Yeah, it's the reason I can't watch Rick and Morty anymore. Their fan base is horrible.
Oh, dude, no, I went as Rick on Halloween one year, just not knowing what I was walking into. Now, don't get me wrong, I've never been bought so many free shots in my life. I was blasted. I was fucking wrecked. But the amount of bullshit and assholes I had to deal with was spectacular. Like asking me to quote specific things, and I'm like, mate, you have a Scream mask that you're not even wearing currently, and you're sitting asking me to quote things from, like really, really specific random things, given an episode number and a thing. Oh, I glitched out in something.
Pickle Rick. Get it? Because he turns into a pickle. It's the funniest thing. Yeah. By the way, the Rick and Morty fan base, those fucking assholes in particular, have been completely trounced because another adult animation, Venture Brothers, got cancelled, but their fan base has been nothing but supportive and nice in how they're trying to get the show back on. Like, I think it's Adult Swim, maybe, or whoever's in charge of trying to get back on. It's like, I like to say the love and support that we've gotten from the fan base is really just showing you how good they can be. It's like, that's because they're not assholes. Also, it's a better show. I'll fight you over that one.
No, I think if you're going to have a fan base, you have to tell them not to be assholes.
Okay, we're going for the next category, which is Best game direction.
Wait. We need to discuss what we think will win.
Oh,
Hold on,
right,
we
fair
haven't,
enough.
Really given it.
Well, one that I
Yeah,
really
come on.
want, I really still want to sit down and play Ghost of Tsushima because it looks really pretty.
I find this really hard to play when I'm talking to you.
Um,
I'm talking
I
up
thought
the most basic of
honestly,
actions.
because people can vote for this, I think it's going to end up being Final Fantasy or Animal Crossing because people can't, the fans will probably vote for it.
Oh, how did you die there?
You can get squeezed between these two blocks, even though there's always a maximum
Yeah.
space.
Jiraj, what do you think is going to win?
Okay, so here,
I'm
so my
talking about-
thinking is that usually with sort of Game Award sort of nominations, you might have the sort of there's always the one indie game that manages to
Hades
get in.
this year.
In this case, it's Hades, but usually there's like one that manages to sneak its way in amongst all the big guns, right? I feel like this year it has probably the best chance of any sort of indie game that came before.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have like the Final Fantasy VII remake, which a lot of people complain is like unfinished.
That's because
Doom
it's
Eternal,
only
which is-
part 1 of like 5.
So I mean so people aren't happy about that.
Mhm.
People have definitely been like very mixed on Last of Us 2.
Mhm.
Doom Eternal hasn't been as well received as the original Doom.
I still think it was received very well.
Well, there was some dickiness there about like the soundtrack and all.
Oh
You know,
yeah, I forgot the soundtrack.
There were things that set people off.
Mm.
I mean,
No, but the original Doom was like
oh, it was fucking.
people still talk about it today.
Mm.
It's huge, but Doom Eternal is nowhere near like reached that level. And then Ghost of Tsushima, like it's people haven't really talked about it since it came out. To be
Honestly,
honest,
I see.
even though
I mean, different circles, it's always kind of brought up here and there. Maybe not as forward as say Last of Us 2 or Doom. By the way, I'm kind of disagreeing with Doom because Doom Eternal is basically keeping Bethesda not fucked up because of their current last few years. Fallout, that Wolfenstein thing they did.
I just find it unlikely that people would vote for Doom Eternal out of the games here.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that Hades has a shot,
Mhm.
but I think actually people will vote for Animal Crossing because it's the game that kind of like it's like weird with a game of the year because it's like, is it the best game of the year or the game that summed up the year? And in like a particular time when it came out, people needed Animal Crossing.
Sorry, no. You just remind me of this thing. Someone sent me this meme. It's like, beginning this pandemic, everyone was playing a game in which you got together as communities and built towns. And then end of the pandemic, everyone's playing a game where you're backstabbing the fuck out of each other.
Yes.
Among Us comes up, by the way.
I'm
Among Us does come up.
Raj is thinking on this.
Mhm.
Now, it's pretty reasonable. Like you think about it, one of the games that is literally in this list as well was redefined in such a way by Animal Crossing. The whole Doom guy thing, the Animal Crossing crossover, like that was Animal Crossing weight. That wasn't Doom weight. Like Doom came out and it had already had its heyday with Doom 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Animal Crossing defined its launch, not
Okay.
the other way around.
So Animal Crossing, I still think Animal Crossing or Final Fantasy because of the fandom. Adam, so I assume you think Animal Crossing as well? Best chance of winning?
I don't know. You see the whole Last of Us thing, like the controversy there.
You still think they pull it off?
Well, none of the controversy is what could make it win.
Fair enough, actually. But
I mean, come on, like
okay.
in terms of the reason it got so shit on was specifically because it did things that were not entirely expected.
say that I like the
I
big
think also like
not going for spoilers thing, but the big thing that I wasn't expecting that. It's like, really? You expected that not to happen?
Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't like the story as such.
Yeah.
It was minor pieces of the story
But
that weren't entirely expected.
this is going to carry on to the next category because next.
wait, hold on. They'll go. Wait.
Hold on. This category for 10 minutes now. Hurry up.
Oh, I was just gonna say that with Last of Us, I don't know if people were necessarily like in the mood for like a game like that, and I feel like people are like, when they go to vote, they'll be like, I don't really want to think about dark stuff. Like I want to think about happy stuff and chopping trees and things like that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I feel like people more like to go Animal Crossing. Though if Hades wins, I'll be very happy because that studio is great and they deserve credit.
Going into game direction, we've got this is best game direction awarded for outstanding creative vision, innovation in game direction and design. So we have Final Fantasy Remake again, we have Ghost of Tsushima again, we have Hades again, we have The Last of Us 2 again, and Half-Life Alyx, which I don't think anyone here's played because none of us could afford the VR shit.
I mean, I thought about rigging up some sort of type deal. I kind of I do want to try this.
I know I want to try it too.
I want to do like a Google Cardboard style VR rig
Yeah.
with a couple of reconfigured phone screens as display outputs and see just if it's possible.
I think Alex needs the Valve setup.
Oh, does it need the index?
I think it does. But from what I've seen in it,
I want to try this as
yeah.
like an interesting experiment.
From what I've seen, when it comes to a VR, this is a full, not just like, oh, I'm teleporting about, shooting everything. This seems to be maybe the second game I've seen, which really takes VR in a way that goes, okay, that's interesting. And the first one I seen was Resident Evil 7 in VR because that was fucking cool. But this one is everything is interactable and it's Valve doing Half-Life again. And it's
Well, Half-Life just seems like such a prime opportunity to do VR with.
Yeah.
It's that thing of it has a lot of mechanics in it. Really themselves to being manipulated in ways.
Yeah.
Because they were new mechanics anyway.
That's true.
So goddamn it, I feel like you need to look back to the Wii for VR. I feel like you need to look back to the Wii in terms of game mechanics that really worked.
I kind of get what you mean. Like
Because
a VR version of like Wii Sports or something could be really fun.
But do you know what I mean about mechanics that worked? Because the motion controls are extremely okay. They're finer and they're much more old.
Yeah.
But the physical you interact with is extremely similar.
Yeah.
You know, what is in your hand works very similarly to a Wii remote. So things that actually worked on it.
Another case with PSVR though, because they've got the Move integration with it. So you still use the PS Move for the
oh yeah, for the camera thing.
PlayStation VR stuff. But they still kept that. That's why you're able to play stuff like Beat Saber. And
okay, but for the
they've had gyro input since PS3, and they never integrated it well.
I fucking hate it. Like, just do the thing. Do the thing.
That's
like I'm not saying okay that's the same. What I'm saying is there's lessons to be learned from other places rather than learning them from your own stock where you badly integrated something previously. Whereas Nintendo threw everything into that particular thing, to that exact kind of input.
I mean, their technology's really gotten better with the Switch because I still remember the first time I got to mess around with it. And Raj, you were there. It was at
That's like fucking magic. You click the Joy-Cons on and off, and it just fucking works.
I know. Yeah. Okay, so best direction.
There's something about playing games on this thing that's just really nice, and I just really sort of just very
spin and then reset it.
I mean, you can set your own profile, so you can have your own little thing.
Yeah, I know, but it's just so that I wanted it specifically set up so that on the day
it's
when
hers
she
and
turns
Snoo
like,
and everything.
Hello, Eliza. It just says her name.
Okay.
It doesn't have a bunch of fluff.
So going back into best direction, which games do you think might be good contenders? Once again, it's the Final Fantasy Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, and Last of Us Part 2.
I mean, if it's based on game design, I don't necessarily think the Last of Us Part 2 has is particularly innovative when it comes to sort of game design, I'd say.
I wouldn't call it innovative, but I would say that Naughty Dog has learned their lessons from the first game because although their combat in the first game was shite, and their Uncharted games, and made it play better. And their environments are more fun. I say more fun. They're fucking horrible sometimes. Like, oh, let's go look for some slavers and some horrible monsters and shit. Blah. But for game direction, other than Half-Life Alyx, because I've seen some of that stuff and it's like, that is beautiful. Ghost of Tsushima might get it.
For like innovation, Half-Life.
Yeah, but why?
Half-Life.
Yeah.
you got to think, right?
Half-Life, I think, has a chance for
Even
sure.
though-
Oh,
because,
God,
yeah. I mean, there's,
Even though it's actually really iterative, all the ideas behind that are actually really fucking old now because Half-Life hasn't had a new entry, and so
Since
Half-Life
2 Part 2.
conceptually, a lot of the gameplay design is really just how you interact with it has changed. The Last of Us had it had like increased. It had an iterative improvement in interactions and how your environment, nothing mind blowing, just a refinement. Ghost of Tsushima, I can't say anything about.
You've not seen it. Okay. The only
I would say for
by the only reason I'm even remotely putting up for direction is it's like the game works when you take everything away from it. Does that make sense? Like, oh, here's all the beautiful shit, blah blah blah, blah. Because they have the what's it? It's named after the fucking director. Seven Samurai. Rashomon. What the fuck is the name of that director? Japanese filmmaker, famous for black and white samurai pics. Akira. Oh my god.
Akira Yugasawa.
Yes, they have a Urasawa mode, which was black and white and it cuts everything away except for the basic dialogue, the music, and the sound effects, and just breaks it down to black and white and looks so fucking pretty. So that kind of shit, like that, the detail of your game can work when we literally take so much away from it. Then Sega.
Sega.
that's why I think Ghost of Tsushima might be a contender here. But for technical thing, either Half-Life Alyx or maybe Hades, because Hades was it's a roguelike, isn't it?
Hades is interesting because a lot of the roguelites are sort of based on these, short, randomly generated runs. So you either win or you lose. But Hades is sort of interesting because it isn't like you play it and you win. It's like, okay, I won, great, and then maybe you try it again. Here, every time you win, it sort of adds a little bit to the story. So it's not like where roguelites, you kind of just keep playing it until you kind of get sick of it, really. But with Hades, there's actually like an end point for you to reach
So I got distracted
by sort of beating it at times. And there is like a narrative that's sort of evolving as you go. So it's actually quite an interesting sort of take on sort of roguelite. So I think from a sort of design perspective, it's something unique, I think.
So once again, my vote would probably be Ghost of Tsushima, but honestly, just for the Hades taking a few, well, one style, substance, as well as we have this nice little hook of the rethought out roguelike. Raj, do me a favor. Oh, I think it's frozen there. So yeah, what will be your two votes for best direction?
I'd say probably either Half-Life or Hades, honestly.
Adam?
I'm for Half-Life just because I think that that VRifying of it is quite typical of what the industry's kind of hoping for will work and be good. Also, now that I actually have working direction buttons, Sonic is back to being a thing. I got a little bit huffy there because
I noticed you kept turning it on and off, going, work, you bastard. Okay.
You may notice that one was finished in about half the time of the previous because I was actually able to hit forward all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so next category, best narrative. Here we have, oh look, 4 of these are very, very familiar because we've talked them 3 times now. So Final Fantasy Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Last of Us Part 2, and then a game called 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, and I have never heard of that fucking game. I have no idea what the fuck that game is.
It's developed by Vanillaware. They make sort of side-scrolling Japanese-y games.
Okay.
RPGs and
like they fucking make Office plugins though.
yes,
Do you know what I
it's
mean?
not a great name, honestly.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like they make a slightly different variation on MS Paint.
Okay, I just realized a lot of these games are going to be very, very quick, so I'm just going to start going through the categories, right? So once again, best narrative, you have The Office Supplier, Final Fantasy, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Last of Us Part 2, and this is for best narrative. I could see it maybe a token one going to Naughty Dog for Last of Us, but with Hades and how they're doing it, I think Hades has a shot for this one.
I agree.
Adam?
I am gonna say the PotatoWare get it just because they're such assholes with their naming.
Okay. Okay, wasn't ready for that one. Okay, best art direction. We have Final Fantasy Remake. Jeez, once again, all these. Oh no, there's one different game here that we haven't mentioned yet. So we have Final Fantasy Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Last of Us Part 2, and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Honestly, though.
Yeah, Ori looks great.
Yeah, I've not played Ori, but it's a very, very
Beautiful
pretty game. Side-scrolling Metroidvania thing. Very, very pretty. I think that Hades or Ghost of Tsushima might get that one. Though Final Fantasy one might actually pull that one through because they really did bring all those characters back to, modern Code of Paint and shit. Okay, best score in music. All these ones have gotten a mention before, and that's Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy Remake, Hades, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and Last of Us Part 2. If Doom wins, it's going to be a bit funny with all the shit that Doom Eternal soundtrack went through.
Oh, God.
No fucking way anybody is touching Doom for that one.
Last of Us Part 2.
Like Doom 2016, yes, but I don't know about Doom Eternal.
I like the
because of the whole sound designer.
Yeah.
It's just not happening.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter whether or not it technically does have the best soundtrack. It's fucked because of that.
Honestly, this, not counting the Doom one because that might just be a dodgy one. The rest of them, okay, I don't know about Hades, but I assume it has a good soundtrack. It's one of the games that looks like it has a good soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps sounds like
Darren Hobb has always done great soundtracks.
Ori and the Will, I think the first one had a nice little subtle one that ran through, and they got big orchestra bits. So I assume that Last of Us Part 2, same guy to Last of Us Part 1 and the Uncharted games. Those are good soundtracks, and then Final Fantasy always has big basic things. So that one there, I think it could go anyway. It might literally come down to fans.
People might go for FF7 just based on nostalgia, like just hearing some of the big themes from there being reprised and being redone in sort of big.
Yeah, because they were quite well liked.
Yeah.
No, so I think people might go for that actually.
The next one has another game that hasn't been mentioned yet. Yay! So best audio design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Once again, Doom, Half-Life Alyx, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us Part 2. Last of Us Part 2 is getting fucking nominated for everything, isn't it? And Resident Evil 3 Remake.
I don't think that's winning it.
I don't, but I'm just happy someone mentioned it. I like that game, even though I didn't. I liked it, but stuff annoyed me in it. I think Ghost of Tsushima might get that one because they put a lot into the subtlety. They basically make a samurai movie into a game. I think they might get it. Anyone else?
I don't know. It's weird to get people voting on audio design.
Yeah, that's I was really trying to pull this one on my arse.
Yeah.
Actually, wait. No, this is where Doom could reprise it because you cannot touch the soundtrack to the controversies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you could conceivably argue the audio design, basically be arguing Doom 2016's audio design in terms of how it ties into the gameplay and all.
Actually, you know what? You have a very, 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 very good point there. But this one's a bit easier because, there's some shit here, but it's best performance. This is for individual voice actor, motion, or performance capture. And one is a fucking late entry for this one. So you have Ashley Johnson as Ellie from Last of Us Part 2. You have Laura Bailey as Abby, Last of Us Part 2. You have, oh my god, I apologize for pronunciation of this. Daisuke, that's probably not how you say that. I'm fucking apologize. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Daisuke Tsusujai as Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima. Shut up. Some of these names are difficult.
Like to apologize for anybody not from our aisle who doesn't understand this issue. Essentially, unless it's a variety of potato, we can't pronounce foreign words.
Yeah, even if the joke aside, it's the Northern Irish accent. It's hard to wrap our tongues around things. French we're sometimes okay with, but
me, could Hideo Kojima come through the front, please, for his praise now?
Mr. Hideo Kojima. You know, it's terrible. Okay, then we have Logan Cunningham as Hades from Hades. And the last entry, which is once again really close to Mark, Najee Jeter as Miles Morales, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Do you mean me?
Hmm?
Do you mean me?
No, this is the other one, Miles Morales, not Peter Parker.
It was just a joke.
I know.
You know.
I know, because you look like the old Spider-Man who's not being recast. Maybe that's where the recast is. Like, Jesus, looks too much like Adam.
This category opens up a bit of a can of worms because it gets you thinking. If Spider-Man Miles Morales made the cutoff for nomination, why hasn't like Demon Souls been nominated for anything?
Oh, actually,
because they were really.
I'm actually surprised Demon Souls hasn't popped up yet for sound design, direction, or something like that. Because I've heard so many good things about this. Now, for games I've played or I'm familiar with, I've not played Spider-Man Miles Morales yet, but it's the same actor who played Miles Morales in the first Spider-Man game, and I thought he was really, really good. But then I look at the two actresses from Last of Us, and it's like, Jesus, used to really tore the living shit of each other to get those performances. And also, I would go with Laura Bailey. You deserve this award only for the fact that the shit you had to put up with through the toxic fan shit from The Last of Us Part 2. Like, that's like, you deserve it for surviving that shit. You know? Once again, Hades though. How was he?
I mean, it's really cool with like Logan Cunningham because he, like, originally when they made their first game, Bastion, Logan Cunningham was just a housemate of the composer Darren Korb. He just happened to live with him, and it was just like, "Hey, do you want to like do voice work for our game?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And then he does the voice of the narrator in Bastion, and he has obviously this smooth, amazing voice, and it just so happened that they lived together. Just a great story, and like seeing him now here is just like really cool.
So who'd be your vote for this one?
I think probably Last of Us will get this one. I think even if the game maybe there's problems with it, I think the performances are still really good.
Yeah. I'd be going with one of them because I think Ashley Johnson did win it for first.
Yeah, I think she won the first one. Yeah.
Okay. Oh! These are all indie ones. Shit, I don't even know if I've not played any of these.
I think we've played any of them.
It's games for impact. If Found, Kentucky Route Zero TV edition. I've seen it. I've just never played it. Spiritfarer, Tell Me Why, Through the Darkest Times. Has anyone played any of these games?
No, but Spiritfarer looks really nice.
Yeah, I've heard nice things. Okay, best ongoing, and I have played officially one of these games. Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Call of Duty Warzone, No Man's Sky, and Fortnite. Fortnite's won the last few years, hasn't it?
I played 3 of these.
Hasn't Fortnite?
Yeah, I think Fortnite's probably past its popularity.
You say that,
I thought it was like
they still get so much shit. I know Warzone has done really. I know Warzone is like out of all the fucking looter, let's say looter, the battle royale games. It's the only one I've sat down, played, and actually enjoyed. Me and Adam played it a few times even, and Raj, we've got to get you in for a trios game sometime.
Yeah,
like sure,
I do enjoy it. I get it. It is a game I would argue. Now, okay, you can sort of see it from here. You can see there's these monsters, and then there's these as well. Now these are very dynamic.
Oh my god, I just realized we were going to talk about.
And these are monsters from the 60s that, can shake the house.
They're big fucking speakers.
The amplifiers up here. But the result is, you see when I get fucking shot in Warzone, I know about it. I know I'm acting properly. The jump scares? Oh my god!
Yeah.
During fucking ears.
During Halloween, there was they put this thing where there's like random boxes in it for like guns and shit. If you pick them, there's like a 10% chance for you to get a random ghost pop up and give you a jump scare. But it fucked up and still was there like a week and a half after Halloween and scared the shit out of Adam. Okay.
Please stop! Please stop making these noises. My ears, they're bleeding.
Best indie. A few of these we have played. We have.
Oh wait, we didn't talk about best ongoing.
I know I rambled.
Yeah.
But my point was actually Warzone should have got a mention for some of its audio implementation. on the basis that it's capable of actually being
Yeah,
properly part of the gameplay.
yeah. Because like if your headphones on, you can tell someone's taking a sniping shot at you from like 40 feet away. You can hear it
Never
for a
mind. When you
distance.
get fucking winged by a sniper,
Oh
you're
no,
like,
no, just no. Even if it's just passes your ear, you hear a. It's like no. But yeah, I'd probably go with Warzone. Because Warzone, it's
I
not.
think Warzone is just like I'm not like the biggest Call of Duty fan, but it's just really good. Like it feels like a natural extension of the Battle Royale, and I think they've done a really good job with it.
No, because we are going over time, I'm going to start rambling through these. Okay, so best indie. We have Carrion, we have Fall Guys, The Ultimate Knockout, we have Hades, we have Spelunky 2, and Spiritfarer. I played Carrion and I played Fall Guys. You've played Hades and Spelunky 2, I assume.
And
Pardon them?
Fall Guys.
Fall Guys is getting it.
Yeah, it is fun. Though I will say Carrion was just a really fun experiment. It's disgusting. It's basically you're playing as the monster from The Thing, but how it's interesting game design. But yeah, Fall Guys is probably going to win. It's fun.
I don't see it happening any other way. Do you?
No. Good on you, Devolver.
People are going to vote for Fall Guys. I will say I really enjoy Spelunky 2. It's a sequel to the first game, which I played for many, many years.
Okay,
and
sorry.
Spelunky 2 I've enjoyed sort of going.
I've just seen
all of its
the
secrets.
next category, and I think I know which the winner's going to be. So let's talk about this. Call of Duty Mobile, Genshin Impact, Legends of Runeterra, Pokemon Cafe Mix, or Among Us.
Among Us.
I wonder what's going to win. Is it going to be possibly the game every fucker is playing? And that I really wish.
This is obviously a runaway success.
The thing is, that game's been out for like 3 years. They were about to announce its sequel, and then it became really, really popular. Like, oh no, we're just going to put more shit into the first game.
But dude, it's literally a mini game in Jackbox. The same notion.
Yeah, I love it though. Okay. Best community support. I don't really know.
Have you both played it?
One thing, Call of Duty Mobile. By the way, I actually played that just to see how it was.
Any good?
Do you know what? It's tricky with a phone, and your fingers will hurtle after a while. But I gotta admit, it's actually pretty fucking good. I don't like mobile games. I hate them.
Actually,
I don't like playing on a touchscreen. But I played a good few rounds of that.
I was about to say, for one of the other
Fair.
games, I know Genshin Impact is a giant fan base. So between it and Among Us, it might be a bit of a thing. I have no idea about Pokemon Cafe. It's the first time I fucking heard about it. Okay, best community support. How the fuck?
We're not gonna go through all the categories.
Yeah. No. I was literally about to go. How the fuck do we know about community support? It's like, hey, has anyone had to complain about Fortnite? Has anyone had to fucking talk about Valorant? Nope. Let's go to best.
Can we skip to best multiplayer?
Yeah. I'm going through them. So we've got there's VR and VR is probably going to go to fucking Half-Life there. Okay, innovation.
Skip to best multiplayer.
I'm skipping through the categories and picking a few interesting ones. Innovation. Behave yourself. Innovation, accessibility. We can't say best action. I've got this one: Doom Eternal, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, Nioh, NIOH2, or Street Rage 4.
I'm sorry, but does anyone actually top Doom in terms of straight up
Nope.
flat out action?
Oh, let's go
You know
with
what I mean? Like,
yeah. Which one allows you to fight God? Anyone? Oh, actually, Hades does too. Shit.
no. I mean, like,
Okay.
put it this way: you can just assume Doom Eternal is Doom 2016 in my argument, and
Yeah.
it still stands up.
It does. Okay, so best action.
I mean, like the multiplayer action too. Oh my god! I
Okay.
thought Call of Duty was like the scary noises, and then that I'm like, oh my god!
Yeah.
I actually need to go lie down.
So we've now got to the category Rash is waiting for patiently. Look at his face. And honestly,
That's why I'm-
it's really interesting mix. It's a really good, interesting mix. So we have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which once again that's got in quickly, hasn't it? Ghost of Tsushima. Another vote for Spider-Man Miles Morales. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Jedi Fallen Order, aka Dark Souls in Space, and Last of Us Part 2. This
This isn't the category I was waiting for.
You said action and adventure. Action.
Oh, multiplayer.
Oh, multiplayer. Fuck, I was ignoring you.
It's a
Sorry, we'll get to this. Okay, but this one is a good. This distracted me.
Dave,
Okay.
Done. Put the
Shush.
crack pipe down.
Listen.
No,
This is
not
still-
until you put the crack pipe down.
There you go. It's done. But still, that's a very, very good mix. That could go any way in this one. You've got Assassin's Creed, which apparently last few ones have been good. You've got the Ghost of Tsushima, which once again, It's a very pretty game. You got Spider-Man, which everyone fucking loves. Ori and the Wills, which is, funny thing. That Jedi Fallen Order game, that was a runaway success the other year. And The Last of Us Part 2. That would be a difficult thing for me to put in. And rolling down. Okay, now we're on the fucking multiplayer, okay?
There we go.
Okay, everyone take a breath. So, we have Animal Crossing New Horizons, Among Us, Warzone, Fall Guys, Valorant. Valorant, I know there's like a ridiculously loyal giant fan base for it. I don't see it in the running with the other four.
I just had no interest for it.
Yeah. But even then, Warzone, I like it. Adam likes it. We really are pushing for it. I still think it's going to come to Animal Crossing, Among Us, and Fall Guys.
I reckon Among Us is a really strong bet.
Yeah.
Warzone could pull it out of the bag.
Mm.
Only because the Halloween thing really improved their stake in the whole deal. I think if they hadn't done the Halloween thing, that wouldn't have a chance in hell. Valorant, I think, is toxic as fuck. I think it's nearly as toxic as Warzone, and Warzone is like pissing acid most of the time. They're like, to be honest, you see the amount of you got the angry fucks, you got the cheaters, you have the sweaty fucks that are like, just they will grief you for more than half an hour at a time. Like, it has its problems.
Hmm?
But in terms of everybody getting together and being their own kind of cunt, it's got that. On the other hand,
I don't think Roger's ready for being your own kind of cunt.
Among Us,
Yeah.
Among Us is just Among Us. It's dissension, deceit,
And also weirdly teamwork. Even though purple is.
I think it's interesting that I feel like Fall Guys was the precursor to Among Us because they're both games about colorful jelly people.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Though
Yeah.
the thing about Fall Guys is, I don't think it would win multiplayer because
Yeah.
it's essentially racing.
Yeah. It's the Catcher's Castle, the game.
But when is
I love it.
Yeah.
any
So
kind of multiplayer?
Yeah, that's true. I think it also it's definitely
not.
peaked in terms of its popularity. If they do like a big update for it, then I think Fall
we're
Guys
about to
could
get
that.
we're about to get a bunch of new maps and game types for Among Us. They're coming soon. So yeah.
What about what was the old? You remember the co-op food game?
Oh, you fucking Egerton loved it.
Cooked.
Overcooked.
Overcooked. Yeah. Do you remember it had its moment?
Mm.
That's what Fall Guys is.
Mm.
It's gonna have a moment.
I don't know. Overcooked is still good.
I think it's one of the ones that's going to hang around for a while, and it's going to have its peaks again. Now,
But Among Us is a fucking meme already.
Yeah.
It's tied in. People are. It actually really makes me mad because the thing is, sus is a phrase I would have used quite a lot. I've had to stop using it.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Because
Have you both played it?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. I would love to do an Among Us night for a stream, but actually, to be fair, I think it's cross-platform and shit. So yeah, we could do fucking thing. Okay, I'm just going to do one more category, a nice easy one to ease us out. And
then I have a serious question to leave us all with.
Okay, we'll do this first. Best family game. So nice and easy. So for the best game appropriate for family play, and this is actually quite good for Adam since he actually has to buy games for a child. You have Animal Crossing New Horizons, Crash Bandicoot 4, Fall Guys. I wouldn't call Fall Guys family. That's like fucking Monopoly. It'd be fucking horrible. Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. That feels weird to be in this. It's really
Dude, Mario Kart 8 is still 40 fucking quid.
Yeah, I know. Minecraft Dungeons or Paper Mario The Origami King.
Dude, Animal Crossing's it's gonna romp the family games.
Pretty much. Though Crash Bandicoot, some of the new fan base is a bit mad. Though I still find it weird the Mario Kart games are because it's not Mario Kart. It's the AR game where you watch through your controller where you play with the fucking thing. So I feel weird being there. But yeah, probably Animal Crossing or Crash Bandicoot. Now, Adam, before we go,
Next week, I might get off the Mega Drive and go on to Crash Bandicoot. Get the old
Ooh,
PlayStation version going.
nice.
But I do have a serious fucking question.
Okay, ask your question.
I know we're talking about Game Awards and everything else, and it's been a bit of a slow news week in general.
Yeah.
So
Grogu.
why it's been a fucking slow news week? Jeff Bezos, what's he up to?
Let's see. He is
He has a
basically
rocket ship company. What is he doing with it? Does anybody know? Has anybody heard?
okay. The only thing we got was when he announced it is that he wanted to be in the moon by 2024. That's all we know.
But he's been awfully quiet about it.
Thing is, though,
Now, we do know
he might
it
not even
was
have a rocket.
tested.
He might literally get all of his money and put it in a pile and walk to the moon.
Well, here's the thing about that, right? If you're going to be the supervillain about it, now Elon Musk is not perfect.
No, not at all.
Pedo guy. But at least he's open that he's yeeting cars into space and stuff.
Do you know you can track it? You can track his Tesla through the solar system.
What is Jeff up to? What is he up to?
Better question.
Okay,
What is he going to launch into space?
Free for the ISS. It could be.
Uh-huh.
It could also be sending orphans to the lunar mines.
There was actually a theory of what he was up to, and you've just reminded me about it. And it was the skyhook thing. Basically, it's a cable that runs from the Earth into low orbit.
A space elevator.
Thank you. I was trying. Thank you.